Hey, Moronics. Welcome to the Three Morons podcast and our Selection Sunday show. We're going to be going through and breaking down we're going through while they do the selections for college football playoffs. And we have already gone through, and Zach has given us his he's given us his expectations of what they are going to choose. And then we're going to keep track of what is actually chosen and see how close we are. So it's gonna be a great day. Just comment and subscribe. Let's get to it.
Yeah, everyone. Again, I was on my phone just trying to get on the ESPN for Selection Sunday, so we kind of live react. We can kind of see what's going on. We're also going to go over some of the college football bowl games. Are they great matchups? If not, do we think like if Miami or someone gets left out, will they want to even play the bowl game because they feel like, hey, Notre Dame got in, we should have been in, we beat them. Mm-hmm. We'll talk more about that as well. As you can tell, it's just me and Mr. Google today. One person has to go to work, and the other person, well, it's been snowing the last 2 weeks. We've done this. It snowed the day before, and they travel a little bit harder. I think we've got more snow the last 2 weeks than we got all winter last year. We're actually going to have a white Christmas. I guarantee you that, most likely.
Very well may.
I mean, unless, it warms up and it doesn't snow at all, but it's supposed to snow again Thursday. Mm-hmm. At least I saw the snow.
No, not Thursday.
Saw a snow indicator on Thursday, which is bad because I'm going to see Bert Kreischer on Friday. Yeah. So I got to drive down to Lincoln.
Yeah, so what I saw was for Saturday for snow, not.
I saw it on the stupid Google or the Apple app or whatever, the AccuWeather. Great. Let's go to this real quick to go over my predictions, and I'll explain why. Oh, we froze. So I'll explain why here shortly. So I picked Indiana number 1, number 2 Georgia, number 3 Ohio State. Very close game. I still think they're in the top 4. Even though Texas Tech won theirs, Ohio State lost 1 game. I think Texas Tech lost 1 as well, but they had a tougher opponent. Obviously, best team in the nation, Indiana. Texas Tech 4, number 5 Oregon. Again, the only loss is Indiana, so I still think they stay at number 5. I don't see many changes below because most of them didn't play. Ole Miss number 6, Texas A&M number 7, Oklahoma number 8, number 9. I have Miami. I do have Alabama dropping out. They got handled well in the SEC championship. It was 21-0 before they even scored, and they didn't even look good. It was 28-7 the final. I have them jumping Notre Dame because they did beat Notre Dame, and I think another thing. The reason they were ranked where they're at in the final rankings, I think this is where they discuss all this stuff yesterday before all the games even happened. Hey, do we ever have Miami? So they probably had these discussions long and talk. But easily you can switch 9 and 10. Miami, Notre Dame both get in. Then I have number 11, Tulane, because Virginia didn't win. If Virginia won, they would have been ahead of them on the ACC thing, which I'll touch on that as well on going forward. And then number 12, I had Texas coming in. They did beat Texas A&M at the last game of the season. They looked better down the stretch. It was a convincing win. So I think they get in, and I think you actually leave JMU out. The reason behind all that, I'll get into more of that, is because they never guaranteed 2 group of 5. They never guaranteed 5 conference championships. They said the group of 4 conference champions and a group of 5. Well, when the group of 4 lost Duke, you don't put them in at all, and ACC still got to bid with Miami, who's their highest ranking ACC. I think that defaults as a conference champion because, again, if you lose to Virginia and Virginia loses to someone else and all this other way, you can still be gone out of the conference championship with 1 loss in the conference. So I think that's – if you have Miami higher, they deserve to be in. Simple as that if you want to put ACC in. Yes, it was a horrible conference, but they did beat Notre Dame. They did beat Louisville, or not Louisville. I think Louisville beat them, but they did beat some other good teams. I can't remember who else they beat off the top of their head, but I mean, there wasn't bad teams, right? Georgia Tech was kind of ranked most of the year. You had Louisville, who was ranked most of the year. SMU. I mean, you had good teams in the ACC. It's not like they were bums like American and Pac-12 next year, right? Jake brought in, next year we'll have the Pac-12 champion. No, the Pac-12 is not a group. It's not a power. There is no all the power teams in the Pac-12 left. Mm-hmm. They got to reestablish that they're going to be good. If they constantly in the playoffs and constantly getting to the Final Four and all this stuff, maybe you call them a group of 5. But until then, it's still going to be part of the best of. It's not group of 5; it'll be group of 6 or whatever. It's still going to be the best of the rest. Mm-hmm. So that's where I have on mine. We'll see where we are here. And about it starts in 5 minutes, but probably more like 10-15 before it starts unveiling stuff.
Yeah. So, while we wait, let's talk about NFL.
Yeah, tonight is. I was looking at the schedule to see if there's any other marquee game. There's really not. Bears Packers is the biggest one. It's a 3:25 game here, so it's 4:25 in the East Coast. It's battle of NFC North supremacy. I did read somewhere if the Bears lose, they will fall down pretty bad, and that's crazy. They only got 4 losses. I do see that the Jets and the Dolphins play. That's really not going to be that important for that division. Steelers Ravens, they're battling for first. They're both 6-6. They're battling for first. So I mean, that's a rough division. I mean, you're talking about the Browns 3-9 still has a chance to win the division somehow. They're not going to, but they could win out and still kind of be in the contention. Bengals 4-8 still has a chance to be in contention. They have Joe Burrow. Like that division is just rough. And to think Aaron Rodgers could be screwing the Steelers twice. The Super Bowl, and then he could keep it from making the playoffs and give Mike Tomlin the worst record of his career. I think Aaron Rodgers is done.
I think so.
I mean, we got to admit, he wants that one more glorious season because that's what he was chasing. Like, you're chasing that one more MVP caliber season. He doesn't have it. I think he knows this was his last year, and it's not going the way he wants. There's no way he comes back to another team next year and go, oh, I still got it, because no one's going to give him the money. No. They might give him like a $2 million contract, but they're going to say, like Browns, hey, we'll give you $2 million to come here, but you're going to sit on the bench. You're going to be behind. They already said they're bringing back Deshaun Watson next year. So how's that going to do with Shedeur Sanders, who's not playing terrible? He's playing better than Dylan Gabriel did, but he's not playing terrible. Right. Dylan Gabriel on there. What are you going to do? Bring Rodgers in, get rid of Watson, still pay Watson money because it's fully guaranteed, which is the dumbest contract in history. The Browns are deserving what they deserve. Exactly. And then you can put Aaron Rodgers in to be a mentor. Like, he's not going to want to be a mentor unless he's playing. He'll be a mentor to the younger people. If he's now next year, they could. The only way I see the Steelers re-signing him is they don't trust Mason Rudolph, and they don't have a quarterback on that. I mean, Mason Rudolph's been there through and through as a backup. They never trust him as a starter. Does he come in as but I would keep him on one condition. He knows, hey, you're a transitional quarterback this year. We need you to take a pay cut. If Mason Rudolph is not doing well, and our rookie, you're helping him, guide him, you're second on the string, we'll put you in, and then we'll put the rookie in. Because maybe Mason Rudolph learned some things. Maybe he didn't.
I'd turn him into a de facto quarterback coach. I mean,
right, like he's on the roster, but he's coaching. Yeah, but I put him as second string because, again, you don't have anyone else on there unless you go get somebody. And then you're going to hand the reins to Mason Rudolph, who hasn't shown that he could do it, because if he did, they wouldn't have gotten Aaron Rodgers when they lost Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson's toast. He's done. Yeah. I mean, this season showed me he's more washed than Aaron Rodgers.
Washington, New York already signed him into. No. He was signed to a broadcast deal with ABC.
Russell, because he knows he's done. After that game where I think Jackson Dart went out with the Bears, they were with the lead, and then Russell couldn't keep it. Yeah. You're done. Like, he knows he's cooked. He's been cooked since, Broncos country let's ride.
Yeah.
I think that year he had more. They said he had more bathrooms in his house than touchdowns at one point. That's pretty sad when you got more bathrooms in your house than touchdowns. Yeah. Saints Buccaneers. That's only good for the Buccaneers. Yeah. I mean, for the division. Colts Jaguars is a good one. 8-4, both fighting for the. I mean, you're talking about the Colts and the Jaguars fighting for the division. That game right there.
And the Jags haven't been competitive in probably a decade.
I mean, 8-4. Both they're horrible last year. You're talking about getting Travis Hunter. Was he the difference? Probably not. It's just, I think, stability at the coaching, because I think Duval and all that stuff, he's doing better. And then the Colts, I mean, you got Daniel Jones and he's lighting it up. Proving my point, New York is cursed.
Yep.
And I mean, look at Darnold over there lighting it up with Seattle when he did Vikings a year ago. Like, okay, Justin Jefferson, anyone can make him look good. JJ McCarthy proves that's not a fact.
Right.
And their backup, who threw 4 interceptions in his debut, he might not be on. He'll be grocery shopping or bagging next year.
Bagging groceries next year. Selling cars.
You got Justin Jefferson on your team. You can't even get a touchdown. That's crazy. You made Justin Jefferson look bad. That's skill. Yeah. But yeah, Saquon. I mean, dominate. I mean, he dominated with the Giants. Don't get me wrong, but he immediately goes to Philly and wins the Super Bowl. Titans Brown, cheapest game in the NFL this year. $5 to get in. $5 on third party. They can't give you the tickets. This is where they break in, leave you the tickets, and your car's value actually decreased by a lot. You get close. I was looking on the seats, and you get like halfway up in the middle of the field. You're still talking $50. Yeah. I mean, it's like $900 to get like on the field of those little suite levels, but you're talking the section back in middle of the field. You're talking $50 tickets. There's also probably like 20 people going to be there. Commanders, Vikings, again, 2 disappointing teams. Yeah. I mean, after last year, you thought Jaden Daniels could go good. Yeah. Last year, you thought maybe, okay, JJ McCarthy. But I never thought Vikings should have let him leave. Darnold, keep him, maybe knowing he's the backup, still fight with JJ McCarthy for the number 1. But everyone thought, oh, JJ McCarthy should be fine. He looked okay. During preseason the year before.
When you provide them with no competition, they're going to play to that level of
but this proves why Michigan ran the ball. Yeah. I mean, JJ McCarthy's not that great. Seahawks, Falcons. Falcons still has a chance to win the division. Very slim.
This is insane.
Seahawks, though, 9-3. I mean, look at the NFC. You got 9-3 Seattle, 9-3 Bears, 8-3-1 Packers, who could be 9-3-1 today, and Bears are 9-4. Right? You got the Panthers who are coming up. You got the Eagles, I think, have 2 or 3 losses. The Rams are right there behind Seattle. I mean, this NFC is
the Super Bowl runs through the NFC.
It has to right now. Yeah. I mean, the AFC, you do have the Colts, the Broncos, the Patriots, and everyone's like, oh, the Broncos haven't beaten no one. Who cares what their opponents' records are? It is what it is.
Yeah.
You beat who you beat. Your record is what you say you are, whether it looks pretty or not. We're looking at the Chiefs, and we're like, this is not the same Chiefs.
No, I really think Seattle. I think Seattle
are who they are.
Yeah. Seattle's your team this year, I believe.
No, I know. Micah Parsons, baby. You know what's funny? Everyone's talking about Micah Parsons. It was a horrible trade.
Great trade.
Dallas got away with it. Why? He's leading the league in sacks. Yes, there's times he doesn't. Oh, where was he? Triple team. That's where he was. And you know what? That leads someone else. Oh, he didn't get a sack. Gary got 3 sacks. Well, you know what? Rashawn Gary was also free because 3 people are on Micah Parsons. So you know what? Whether he gets a sack or not, as long as he's doing enough to take the 1 or 2 defenders or offensive line away, it's what he's supposed to do.
The disruption that he creates,
3 and still get pressure on the quarterback because Micah Parsons taking 2 or 3 of them. Now you got more people in coverage, and that panics the quarterback. So you know what? I'll take no sacks if we can rush 3.
Right. No, absolutely. 4. Yep.
We never have to rush 5.
No, never.
Broncos, Raiders, 10-2 and 2-10. I mean, you tell me. Rams, Cardinals. Murray's out for the season. Must be playing that Blackhouse. It was so bad that he can't play anymore either. I heard Blackhouse was bad this year.
Benson
he can't play.
Yeah, Benson's out. That one kills me. He was on my fantasy team.
But 9-3 Rams, and then tonight you got Texans and Chiefs. 7-5 Texans still going for the division. I mean, not far behind, but still far enough. And then the Chiefs, I mean, they're just trying to stay alive. That's your Sunday night football game. I'd rather be Packers and Bears, but to me, it's interesting only because the Chiefs are trying to stay alive. I mean, they're 6-6. You talk about the Texans, they're 7-5, and they struggle too, and they're better than the Chiefs. College, the rankings have started. It has not come in. They're just talking about it. A lot of SEC people on the coverage.
Of course, because SEC rules college football.
I think ESPN has something with them because ABC and all that stuff cover a lot of SEC games.
Yeah, but
now you think Texas should get into. You are a Texas fan though, but mean, you get Notre Dame, Miami. They're talking about Notre Dame, Miami, always. I do see Alabama possibly still getting in, unfortunately. These are what I would like to see. Alabama, I still think if they get in, yes, they'll put on a show. They'll get past the first round, most likely. Actually, I don't know, because if you put them in at 12, they're playing Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing Oregon. If you put them in 11, they're playing Ole Miss. I don't know. I think they beat Ole Miss, maybe.
Ole Miss or Texas Tech?
12 and 5, 6 and 11, 7, 9, 7 and 10, 8 and 9.
Oh, okay. OSU. I was thinking OSU.
So I don't know. I think it's gonna be hard. That's where the fight is basically the last, basically 9, 10, and 12 spots, right? Do you put Alabama in? Do you punish them for getting blown out of the conference championship? Everyone's like, you shouldn't punish them for making the game. Yes, you shouldn't have. But I think they also got 3 losses now. So that's the punishment, is the 3 losses. Let me pull up. I don't know off the top of my head, but I think Texas has lost.
Texas 3 losses as well, I believe.
I think they have 3 losses as well, but the fact is they didn't get blown out.
No, and they were really
in the conference championship game. They were competitive, I think, even against Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing is they played earlier this year and Alabama won. That's what keep them in. Yeah. Texas has 3 losses, so they're probably out. This is the AP top 25. Vandy has 2 losses. Vandy could get into that spot.
Mm.
The only reason I put Texas in is because their last game they played A&M.
Yeah. I don't think Vandy's resume is that impressive.
And they beat A&M by 10. Yeah. Their losses were Georgia. They got blown out by Georgia. But they beat Vandy. Mm-hmm. So, again, Vandy has 2 losses, 1 being Texas. Yeah. They beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma's in. Mm-hmm. I mean, they destroyed Oklahoma. Yeah. So if you see, but they lost to Florida. They had a bad loss. But again, that was the beginning of the year. That looked bad, but then they beat Oklahoma. They beat Kentucky in overtime. And then all of a sudden they beat Mississippi State in overtime. They beat Vandy, who you're talking about Vandy being in. They beat A&M. They beat 2 playoff teams. Yeah. So it's rough when you talk about that 3. When you look at Alabama, though, Alabama has a better record. Mm-hmm. They lost to Oklahoma. So if you took common, they lost to Oklahoma. Texas beat Oklahoma, and it was in Alabama. Mm-hmm. Remember, Texas and them is a neutral site,
right?
Yeah. Just remember, Austin's not that close to Dallas. It's about the same, almost the same distance
as Oklahoma City or
Norman. Yeah. So it's not like it was all Texas fan. I know for a fact there was at least 1 Oklahoma fan, and that's my stepbrother Joe's daughter goes to Oklahoma, so and they live in Dallas. So I know there was at least one Oklahoma family there.
5 hours each direction. So,
but like Georgia beat Alabama 28-7. Alabama lost to what else did they lose to? They beat Vandy this year. Last year they lost. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you got to look at they destroyed Wisconsin, so did everyone else. Yeah. So I don't know where you put them because they lost to Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. They lost to Georgia, but yet they beat Georgia 24-21 earlier in the season. It's rough. It's really
a tough selection, man. It really is.
Third loss. I'm trying to figure out what that third loss is.
Oklahoma or for Alabama?
Yeah. Florida State. Oh, that's it. They lost to Florida State at the beginning of the season. That's a horrible loss. I think Florida State won 3 games.
Yeah. They didn't do much better than they did last year.
So they lost to them, they lost to Oklahoma, and then they lost to Georgia. Like, you look at that, they had a bad loss. Texas had a bad loss to Florida. I mean, Florida State and Florida were playing, and that was like, who's not the suckiest? It's going to be hard. Oh, Nick Saban's on. Look at, I wonder who people on Saban. So, like I said, yeah, you can look at Alabama had better wins, but they had I think one of the worst losses, Florida State, and they got blown out by Florida. I think it was like 31 to something. It wasn't that close, if I remember correctly, because we looked at it and said, oh, shit, Florida State figured it out. Is Alabama not that great? And then next thing you know, the rest of the season happened, and Oh shit! It all flipped around.
Right.
Let's see. Right now it says they're looking at Alabama, Notre Dame, and JMU. I don't believe JMU should be in.
No.
Let me explain why here before we get into more rankings. They said the group of 4, the Power 4 champions, and a group of 5 at large. Okay, well you're omitting Duke because they're not even ranked.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can't put JMU in. So to me, the ACC bid went to a non-conference champion, and that's going to be Miami.
Yeah.
If you don't put Miami in, there's no ACC. And that's fine. Then somehow JMU might get in. But I think Miami gets in because of the highest ranking ACC in lieu of conference champion. You talk about the 5 highest ranking conference champion, and you talked about group of 4 and then 1 at large highest ranking. They never said the 5 highest ranking conference championships. They said the group of 4 and then the best of group of 5. I think that's how it was worded.
Right.
If that's how it's worded, JMU doesn't get in. Plus, do you want to see JMU versus Oregon? Everyone would love to see JMU in, but do you really want to see them get smoked by Oregon?
By 40.
You want competition in these games. And that's what everyone's talking about now. You want competition. Even if Virginia won, Miami's ranked higher. Miami should get I think you should get 4 automatic bids for the group of 4.
Yeah.
So if you win your championship, you're automatically in. So like if you're ranked high, Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, and then of course the ACC. Well, if Virginia won, would you still want them in over Miami? Because you're going to put them probably like that 10 spot, 11 spot. Say they won, they would have been 11 over Tulane.
Right.
Okay, they're still playing Ole Miss. They're going to get smoked by Ole Miss. You want the highest ranking teams. You want the best 12. Oh, they're talking about are they going to get in? Are they not? They got Mario Smith, of course, with the SEC.
Yeah,
he's the SEC guy. But he used to do Clemson a lot, though. Actually, I think that you get rid of the system right now. You do 12. 12's always fun. Everyone's talking about 24, 16. You don't need 4 more to make sure there's no buys or 3 more and only the top 2 get by. No. 12 is good because then you're getting into the now you can sneak. You're still not going to have good matchups.
Right.
I think that you put the group of 4 in, the highest ranking teams of those group of 4s in lieu of conference championships.
Yeah.
Because clearly today shows you Miami's higher ranking than their champion's going to be, regardless of who won yesterday.
Yeah.
Virginia or and Virginia is still ranked.
Yeah.
They should be eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't be in the top 25 after that. I think you put in the group of 4. Who cares about the championship? So you would have, and it doesn't give you number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. They got rid of that, thank God, because Notre Dame could destroy some of these people.
Right.
And they would never have gotten in because of conference, but they should get a conference. So you get those 4.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Notre Dame should join a conference, because you're talking about automatic bids. Luckily, they have not been in this spot yet with the top 12. You're talking about them possibly getting in today. Now you put them in a conference. They could have made the conference championship, and then you wouldn't have this. Yeah, they lost to Miami, but now they with the conference champion, they get in. This might push them to get in.
Talking about Oregon there?
Yep. Now it's Miami.
Miami, sorry.
So I think they're feeling confident after yesterday's results. They should, because they're ACC.
Yeah.
Because of the high ACC. So then you get, 8 at-large bids? Now you get the 8 at-large bids. You don't get a Power 5 school in unless they deserve it. I don't care about this participant. Oh, we want it. No. Everyone wants it because they want that Cinderella story. This is not college basketball. Where hey, you're going to sit on the bench, but you're a star player. No, I'm going to go to a JMU or I'm going to go to Loyola University of Chicago or whatever. And we're going to have a Cinderella story because we got teams that have been together for 4 years. I'm a star player. My first year, these people have been together for 4 years.
Yeah.
So they got the chemistry. You put my talent on it, and we can go far enough to get to the Sweet 16. That doesn't happen in college football. In college football, yes, you might have a number 5 win or a number 6 win, but you're not going to have a number 12 that isn't even a true number 12 win. Right. JMU or Tulane, they're 26, 25. They're not going to win. I don't agree. I think you need to get rid of the system now. You put the top 12 teams in, and the only way you deviate to the top 12 is if your conference champion is number 13 or number 14 possibly, and they just couldn't get in.
Yeah. Right now they're talking about Duke having a better strength of schedule than JMU. That's why they think that Duke should be in, but I don't think either team should be in, to be honest.
I think that you have the top 12 teams. The only way you deviate from what I said earlier is the 4 champions or the 4 best ranked is if, say your best rank's Miami and they're ranked 15. Do they get in?
Yeah.
You know, that okay, sure, but if they're ranked 20th or not even ranked in the ACC, just had a down year, no, they don't deserve to get in. I don't know how they're going to go forward, but I don't think conference championship should guarantee you anything in a Power 5 or an ACC if your champion's not like Miami, right? Number like 12. So here's the principles. Strength of schedule, head-to-head competition. Notre Dame, Miami, right there. Notre Dame should be out if you're considering that. Comparative outcomes of common opponents without margin of victory. So did they win? If they played the same teams, did they win? They don't care about the margin of victory. I think you take the margin of victory into it. Yeah. If Notre Dame and Miami both played Louisville, Louisville and Miami won by 10, but Notre Dame won by 25. Right. But they didn't play each other. They didn't play each other. Then Notre Dame beat them more.
Yeah.
And you should also look, was it in Louisville for any of those games? If one was in Louisville, the other one was away, you take that a little bit into consideration. So Miami was away. Okay, you were playing at Louisville, but you're playing in Notre Dame and won by 27. Okay, you were on the road, so it's a little bit tougher. You take that a little bit into consideration. But if they were both, say, in Notre Dame and Miami, and Notre Dame just blew them out of the water and Miami didn't, look at that too. Mm-hmm. I think you should look at margin of victory. Yeah. But at this point, you don't look at common opponents. They have some common opponents, but you don't look at common opponents. Look at head-to-head just for those two. Yeah. Miami won. I don't care if it's the beginning of the year. You win the games. Because if you're looking at the beginning of the year, Florida State destroyed Alabama. And I think Miami beat Florida State because they're both in the ACC. I think they played each other. Yeah. And if you look at that, then Alabama shouldn't begin. A&M, Notre Dame. Notre Dame lost to A&M. Texas beat A&M. That's a common opponent. So we'll see how it comes. What do you think is going to happen? You think Alabama's going to drop out?
I think Alabama's going to. Well, see, that's where I'm on the fence because I think Alabama's past is going to affect their future. And so
they had Nick Saban. Yes. They don't have Nick Saban.
It's true, but
Jalen DeBoer.
But I still think that after DeBoer's first year and now this year, I think that
he didn't make the SEC championship
last year
either.
Yeah, that's true.
And he didn't win it this year. So therefore,
but I think that their strength of schedule and I think the strength of their prestige,
the conference prestige,
is going to bolster them, is what I think with Alabama. I think if anything, that'll put them over Texas in the end.
Yeah. See, that last one I just threw in there because I don't think JMU. I love them.
No.
Love a good Cinderella story. Love the fact that, hey, they're still doing good without Kurt Cinetti. He did such a great job with that program that they're continuing when he leaves, which, by the way,
they play. They're going to get the breaks.
It signifies that he is probably one of the greatest coaches in college football because he came in his second year in Indiana, was in the conference last year, undefeated this year, conference champions, something Ohio State hasn't done when they won the national championship. They weren't even in the title game last year for Big Ten. So you know what? Ohio State's still not a true champion, okay? They didn't even beat their own conference. Three, again, I just hate Ohio State. Shout out to Carl for Michigan, right? And then they're continuing their dominance in their division, right, for James Madison, or their conference. So you look at it as like, okay, well, he did such a great job with that program. They're still continuing success after he left.
Yeah.
He didn't go steal their players or coaches like freaking Lane Kiffin's going to do. He already announced some of the coaches are going with him and all this. He wanted to stay and coach, but it's like, yeah, you want to stay and recruit, not really coach. You wanted to show you're committed to the team because you want them to come with you to LSU. Which, by the way, if you're not winning in Ole Miss, what makes you think those players are going to just win at a different team, but you're playing the same teams almost.
Right.
I mean, just go with LSU. Go start recruiting new. If players want to follow you, they'll follow you, but let them finish out the season. One of the best seasons in Ole Miss, and he's leaving them for LSU, and they're getting paid the same money because Ole Miss said we'll match what they're offering, and he's like, no, I'm going to LSU.
Why don't you go to LSU?
Because he thinks he can't win there, can't recruit there, or whatever. It's just Lane Kiffin. He's going to keep moving. I think he's trying to get back to Alabama eventually to be the head coach. I think that's what his goal is. I think. So he's just trying to stay in the SEC to be relevant, to have wins.
He's got to have a resume to do that.
To me, he's staying in the SEC because he can recruit in the SEC to get wins, and they got money. Right? He doesn't want to go to the Big Ten because you got to go against Ohio State every year. He might not get the championship, this, and that. So he's trying to say, okay, let's go to LSU. Maybe I can get a little bit more NIL money. Maybe I can get a little bit more clout. Maybe I can get a little bit more recruits. And maybe I can get to the title games and stuff. Just keep my name up there so when Kalen DeBoer gets fired, I can go back to Alabama. And I know it's going to be great when I go to Alabama. I'm guessing that.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Guessing that's what's happening. Because he doesn't stay put.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been there for 6 years, but he wants to stay in the SEC. He wants to stay in the SEC because that's the only way he knows he can stay on top of head coaching jobs is because of the SEC.
Yeah.
Another good hire, I think, is a decent hire. I think it's good. I think it also shows how bad that Penn State job is. They went to like their 20th guy.
Oh, really?
Matt Campbell, Iowa State coach, is now going to Penn State.
Really?
Yes.
Man.
He did good with Iowa State.
Yeah.
So I think he'll do good in Penn State because you're going to have better NIL money. You're going to have better recruiting opportunities. You're in a better conference. But the problem is now you got to beat Ohio State every year. You got to beat Indiana. You got to beat Michigan. Yep. Not every year because they don't play every year because there's no divisions in the conference anymore. But you got tougher competition. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. Texas Tech, BYU, great programs, great competition. But Big 12 has had their 6 different champions in 6 different years. And this is when Texas and Oklahoma was still in it.
Maybe that means in.
But now you're going to have a lot of changes because I don't think anyone in the Big 12 is going to dominate like you had with Oklahoma and Texas. Yeah. And Texas A&M and stuff back in the day.
True.
I think that's what Texas A&M left because it's like, okay, well, we can't beat Texas and Oklahoma, but let's try to go over here. And I think they did. This is their best year, I think, in program history.
Is it?
I think Texas A&M, and they lost to Texas. Imagine that. And that's another reason why I would love Texas to go in because you got Texas A&M, Texas Tech, and Texas. That'd be great.
Like 4 or 5 years ago, Texas A&M had a really good year. They beat Alabama. They were looking like they were top the. They're going to be tops in the SEC, but
they fell apart.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so I think it's a good hire. I think for Matt Campbell, it's great. I think Penn State was going for BYU's coach.
Yeah,
and BYU and the Mormon Church was like not so fast. Yeah. They used his religion, and then on top of it, the CEO of Crumble Cookies donated a lot of money to get his pay up to where Penn State was going to pay him. On top of, hey, don't forget, maybe it was a little less, but don't forget your religion in this.
Yeah.
But the owner of Crumble Cookies stepped in and was like, hey, hold on, I got some money. I think Dave Portnoy became Provo Dave. I think he donated some money too. Even though he's a Michigan guy, I think he's some was like he's a BYU guy now too. They love him in there, I guess. I don't know.
How did these flippers actually come out?
I think they said unveiling now.
January 19th.
January 19th is the championship game. Good Lord, that's a long season.
Mm-hmm.
Highest ranked conference champions, no matter which conference.
Yep, there they go. They changed it. Is the 5 highest ranked conference championships. JMU is in, Texas is out.
Grab me that green one over there.
That's how I figured. If they said no matter what, they said the 5 ranked highest. So that means JMU will be in. Indiana's number 1. Did we think that was gonna be different?
No.
After they beat Ohio State, who was number 1, they were number 2.
Yep, that's dead.
I mean, honestly, you could flip.
Marcus did. So
Here,
like pros and. All right, sorry guys, little technical difficulty with the markers.
It's a light purple, but still different. All right. I mean, honestly, you can switch IU and Oklahoma. but it's not. It's gonna be Georgia because Georgia was 3. They're gonna be 2.
The parts what we got. Well, Zach writes a lot smaller than I do, apparently.
Number 2. I'm wrong. Ohio State is number 2. Even though Georgia had a more convincing win, Ohio State's number 2. So I don't want to hear that the rankings are favorite SEC anymore. I mean, I guess that's their only loss, so I guess that's what they looked at. So that means number 3 is going to be Georgia.
Think so?
It ain't going to be Texas Tech. If it's Texas Tech, they really give no. They're saying SEC is horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, that fielding, you should saw it was like 27 yards. Someone said, I see people on college game day in Burkas kick better than that. I have. People are not ready to just kick, but I mean, no game pressure, but they are looking for $100,000, so maybe a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
This is different from last year, the first year of the 12-team field.
All right, let's see who's next, y'all.
Getting the bye.
We got Ohio State, so we're going to go with Georgia next, being number 3.
Probably. I mean, if it's anything else than Georgia, that's I don't know how you say that. Yeah, number 3 is Georgia. I would say number 4 should be Texas Tech, but who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm shocked that Ohio State became number 2.
Yep.
Which means you could possibly see Indiana Ohio State in the national championship.
That'd be insane.
And honestly, that was probably the game of the year last night. I was watching that and I was like, holy cow. I would love to see Indiana versus Ohio State, which, by the way, prediction, Mendoza just won the Heisman.
Really?
The way he played, over 200 yards, 1 pick, but saying had a pick. The pick led to a touchdown eventually, but I say Mendoza wins the Heisman.
Last year, Georgia got a bye. Didn't work out well for them. They beat them in the show. They'll try to.
I know the buys sometimes suck for these. They just mentioned Georgia got a bye last year.
Yep.
Texas Tech, number 4. Got that one right. Now, think about this. All 4 teams, all undefeated.
Yep.
And then the other 3, 1 loss.
Yep.
That's why you get them in. Texas Tech's the 1-loss Big 12 champion.
Yeah, but you didn't get the top 4 correct.
Just a little bit different ranking.
Yeah.
Well, because I was shocked about Ohio State. I only thought they dropped. And I even said, could they be number 2?
Right.
You could flip them.
Yep.
But I figured Georgia's win over Alabama would have got them higher.
Yeah.
Which means if Georgia's number 3 and you rank Ohio State better, does that mean that loss is worse for Alabama?
Well, no, that's a good question.
That's something to look key forward to.
Yep.
With that defense.
So you could have Texas Tech, Indiana second round, or in the semifinals, and Georgia, Ohio State. That would be. I think those would be the best matchups.
Yeah.
I would like to see Indiana, Georgia.
Indiana, Georgia.
Out of those 4 teams, I would love to see Indiana, Georgia. I think that would be a phenomenal college championship.
Yeah.
5, Oregon.
Oregon. You were right.
But again, 1 loss Oregon, and their loss is Indiana, who's number 1. So they're going to be They're going to be playing in Eugene. So I think they dominate number 12,
Yep.
JMU. They're going 5. They should just go to number 12.
Yeah.
Who are they facing?
Yeah.
Don't go 6, 7, 8. Go who they're facing so we can talk about that while you're talking. Go for all this. But again, Oregon lost in Eugene to Indiana.
Yeah.
Indiana went into Eugene.
Yeah.
That's why I think that's impressive, and that's why Indiana is for real. And I thought that when they beat Oregon.
Yeah.
Because I said that was going to be a tough test for them. They're going to Eugene. Yes, I said Ohio State was also going to be another test. But you go into Eugene and you win. That's tough to do.
Yeah.
Let's see. You could have Oregon, Texas Tech. That'd be a good one, too.
Yeah.
I think Oregon and Texas Tech will be a great matchup. I'm already counting out whoever they're facing because it's either Tulane or JMU, and they're not going to win. Ole Miss is number 6. Again, 1 loss Ole Miss. That's why I say you can't have them move. You're going to have Ole Miss, Georgia. Because, again, you're going to have Tulane versus Oregon or Tulane versus Ole Miss, and JMU is going to face the other one.
Yeah.
It's going to be Ole Miss, Georgia.
Yeah.
SEC. It's going to be great. It's going to be a normal SEC thing. I don't know who Ole Miss lost to. I got to look. It might have been Georgia. I think it was Alabama.
I'm impressed so far. You've been exception of this swamp. You're correct all the way down so far.
I'm going to be wrong down here, but I'm going to say that's JMU. I probably figured it was going to be JMU, but I was just hoping it wasn't.
Yeah.
But when they said 5 highest conference champions, I automatically put it in Tulane and JMU. So I think you have Miami, Notre Dame. I think that could be switched, but we'll see. Texas A&M is number 7.
Still perfect. Well, mostly perfect.
Again, another one-loss team.
Yep.
See, you're seeing all these one-loss teams. So Alabama being a 3-loss team should not be in. Now think about that. Texas A&M, another SEC team versus Ohio State. So let's see who number 8 is, who will be facing the winner of 8 and whatever will be facing Indiana, which, according to mine, is Oklahoma. Oklahoma, Indiana would be a great matchup as well. Oklahoma's number 8. Final home game. So you got the games in Eugene, College Station, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma. Norman. They got a 2-loss team. That's the first 2-loss team. So let me do my little updater right here. So I still think Miami, Notre Dame, either or, and number 12 will be JMU. So you can don't cross it out yet, but you can just say possibly JMU. Texas was just a dream. I had to put them in there. That's my bad. Coming into before I even said that, I said JMU before I actually wrote it down. They probably shocked you. I put Texas because I was saying JMU.
Who's next?
We'll see. They're talking about Alabama, Notre Dame, Miami. Strength of schedule. The best strength of record, was Alabama. Best strength of schedule was Alabama. Then it goes Notre Dame and then Miami for both of those. Strength of record and strength of schedule. FPI goes. So, I don't know. Let's see. I say it has to be Miami because they beat Notre Dame.
Drama they're building here. Suspense.
Alabama's number 9.
Holy crap! That's
versus Oklahoma, and who beat Alabama in Alabama? So you literally gave them an opponent that beat them in Alabama. So way to go, college football playoff. You lost the spot. Horrible pick. Alabama's going to lose. They didn't even move. They were 9.
Yep.
They didn't even lose for losing the game convincingly.
Yep.
That is horrible pick. You should at least drop them.
Yeah.
You should be. Yeah, of course you're saying that. Greg McElroy, didn't he go to Alabama or Georgia? I think he was one of those. He's 10-3, the first 3-loss team. I understand they had a stronger strength of schedule. You want to put them in, you put them in. Now you got Miami and Notre Dame. It's going to be Miami. It's got to be Miami. They beat them head to head.
Yeah.
But Alabama didn't even drop. They should at least drop.
Yeah.
They should have been to be honest, they should be number 12. You should put the conference champions ahead of them because they won their games. They lost convincingly.
Yep.
I don't hate that they're in. I do hate that they're in. I just hate the fact that they didn't even move more than anything. Oh, Florida State's still top 30. Oh, it's Florida State top 30. They didn't win 3 games.
There's one spot left in terms of at-large teams, and it almost certainly is going to be Miami or Notre Dame. So,
we're kind of Miami. Miami is in. Notre Dame's out. Notre Dame, get yourself in the ACC conference next year.
the entire time.
Miami, y'all.
Well, so I got Alabama wrong and Texas, but my initial was JV, but I was like,
Went against your gut.
went against my gut because I still don't think that. I understand it's the 5 conference, but I still don't think you give it automatically to freaking JMU. We said this along. Good job, Jay. I know you're happy. I know Jay's happy. Or Jackie, one of them's a Miami fan. But either way, they're both happy because they're both Florida.
Yeah.
Miami deserved it way more than Notre Dame. Let me look at FPI, 3rd, strength of record, 13th, strength of schedule, 44th. Notre Dame beat them every step of the way, but proved head-to-head mattered.
Basically the same.
Yep.
Everywhere else, they were the same. Everywhere, only they were better. Notre Dame had a better record, or not record, but strength of schedule, strength of record. Everything was better, but head-to-head mattered.
Your resume didn't change from Tuesday.
I know, but everybody's resume is complete from the standpoint of their resume was already complete.
If that was Notre Dame's only loss, you would have saw Notre Dame in. But they had the same record. Everything was the same. You have to put Miami in. And I think that's why they did what they did. And it put Miami over Notre Dame until the end because you had to wait till everything was finished.
Yep. Next team, come on.
So 11 is going to be it's going to be Tulane, and they're going to face Ole Miss because JMU is ranked behind them.
Yeah. So who's going to be number 11? You say Tulane?
I think Tulane's still number 11, and 12 is JMU. But we'll see. I mean, you have no idea. Maybe they change everything. Maybe they change their. Okay, we shouldn't put JMU in. We do need another powerhouse, and Texas sneaks in there.
Yeah, true.
We have to compare the hit.
Hey, come on, throw them out.
Or Notre Dame sneaks in there.
Notre Dame could sneak in there, but I don't know.
I don't know why they put first team out, second team out. Who cares? Yeah. It's not like they get a consolation prize, like unless one of these teams pull out.
Yeah. So Notre Dame, do you play your starters in the bowl game they get?
No. Yeah, you play because you're still trying to, but at the same time, Tulane's number 11.
What you have?
I think you play your starters if they want to play, but half of them, Jeremiah Love and everything, are they going to want to play?
Yeah.
But again, they don't have anything to complain about. Miami was me thinking that they shouldn't play their starters if they're not going to get in. They shouldn't even take the bid. They should be like, no, we don't want to play.
Yeah,
we're going to screw a bowl game over in your ratings because we don't want to play because we deserve over Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Now, if Notre Dame gets in, they get in, but Miami's ranked higher than that.
Yeah.
Miami, Texas A&M is going to be a good one. I think that's going to be your best. I don't know. Alabama, Oklahoma, of course, 9-8, and Miami, Texas A&M are going to be the best first round matchups probably in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
The last spot is going to be JMU, and it is JMU. They're a one-loss team too, but
all right. Tax rating final versus the final college football selection committee. So our big surprises were after OU, everything from 9 to 12 was our big surprises from what Zach thought. And really, Alabama's the biggest surprise because
they didn't even drop. I expected Miami or Notre Dame to get in, but more so that's why I put Miami over Notre Dame because I expected the head-to-head would have mattered in the final ranking. Everyone was throwing ups in arms. Oh, it should matter. It should matter. It did. At the end, when they're discussing everything, who cares what it was before? Those are just rankings and everything until everything's finally said and done. Notre Dame's the first team out. Second team out is probably Texas.
Why would they even show you the first team out?
Again, the only way I can think of them doing that is something happens where James Madison gets disqualified or something.
Yeah. BYU.
I used the second team out. They got destroyed. They didn't even get close. I mean, they made the conference champion, so you got to give them credit for that, but they got smoked. I mean, good Lord. They didn't deserve to be ranked after that. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. But that just shows you how good Texas Tech could have been. Could be.
Yep.
All right, going for these out of these, Oregon's going to beat James Madison.
Okay.
Oklahoma's going to beat Alabama again.
Yep.
I think Ole Miss is going to beat Tulane.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that
I don't know who plays who.
Texas A&M and Miami. I think Miami beats Texas A&M. Oh, they're going to make a statement game. Probably not, but I'm going to go with that.
All right.
And then I think that you're going to have Oregon versus was it Indiana? No. I got it back. Oh, Oregon versus Texas Tech. You're going to have Oklahoma versus Indiana. You're going to have Ole Miss versus Georgia. And you're going to have Miami, Ohio State. I'm going to go Texas Tech over. No, I'm going to go Oregon over Texas Tech. I think buys last year.
Give me that racer over there.
I think the buys last year proved that it's not always great to have a buy. So I think Oregon's going to beat Texas Tech. I think. Okay, my bad.
To give you Zach's expectations. All right, so we've got what is it? It's
JMU and Oregon.
JMU, Oregon.
Then you got Alabama, Oklahoma.
Alabama, Oregon,
Oklahoma.
Excuse me. OU. Okay.
And then you have Tulane, Ole Miss.
Tulane, Ole Miss. Okay.
And then you have Miami and Texas A&M.
All right.
All right. So I think Oregon beats JMU.
Okay.
And they're going to play Texas Tech.
I can't write like that.
Oregon versus Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
And they're going to have
Alabama, OU.
Oklahoma, and then they're going to play Indiana.
OU, Indiana. Okay.
And then you're going to have Ole Miss over Tulane. They're going to play Georgia.
Versus who?
Georgia.
Oh, UGA is going to kill them.
Then you got Miami and Texas A&M. I have Miami, and then they're going to play Ohio State.
Ohio State University. Okay.
All right. Then you got Oregon and Texas Tech. I think you have.
Going to beat Texas Tech.
I think so too. I think Oregon's going to beat Texas Tech. It's going to be a very close game. But Oregon, Oklahoma, Indiana. Give me the Hoosiers. Hoosiers? And famous words of Pat McAfee was shirt off at the game after College game day. Went there because it was a late game, and he did the Hoosier chant with the shirt off at the end of the game. Ole Miss and Georgia. It's going to be a close game. Unfortunately, Georgia's going to win.
Yes.
You know that who's go Dogs.
Yep.
You know.
So far, pardon my terrible handwriting. It's really fast. You got Miami or Ohio
State. Unfortunately, I got to go with Ohio State.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they're just a better team. I really want to go with Miami, but I really think Ohio State's going to win. I don't know if it's going to be close or not, but it's Ohio State.
Hey, what do you got from Oregon, Iowa perspective?
You mean Indiana?
Excuse me. Sorry, we live in Iowa.
I think it's going to be Oregon. I think they get revenge on Indiana. The Hoosiers run out. Oregon wins it.
Okay. Oregon Georgia versus OSU.
Georgia. That defense last night looked great. You pressured Sayin in Ohio State. You win. Georgia wins. Georgia, Oregon, give me the Dogs.
Right. You heard it here first. Zach has predicted a Georgia national championship.
The only reason I think Indiana could win, but Oregon's got something to prove. Oregon lost. Their only loss is Indiana. I think it's hard to beat a team 2-3 times in the NFL, right? You play them in the playoffs. You usually lose that third time. It's hard to beat someone twice. I do think Kurt's one of the best college coaches. I think he'll be prepared, but I think Dan Lanning's also a great coach. I think he's watched. I mean, you got to realize Oregon watched that game. Oregon's going to prepare for Indiana, knowing they're probably going to. They're preparing right now. Right now, they learn, hey, we have to play Indiana to get to the national championship. We need to be ready. We need to be ready for James Madison so we don't get caught with our pants down. We need to get ready for Texas Tech because Texas Tech can beat us. But we also have to keep in the back of our minds, we got Indiana. That might trip up Oregon against Texas Tech. And then if Texas Tech goes, it will be Indiana. But I think Georgia has one of the best defenses. I would love to see an Indiana-Georgia game because I told you that's going to be one of the best defensive games, just like Ohio State. You're talking about last night, they said the best offenses went against the best defenses. You had the top two offenses versus like the top two defenses. You had the two best teams in the nation last night, and it was the best games. Would I love to see an IU-Ohio State rematch? Probably, but it'll be sucked because Ohio State will probably win and they'll be back-to-back champions. Yeah. But I don't think Ohio State's going to get past that Georgia defense. The way they played last night, you're talking about Alabama, who looked great. You're talking about their quarterback was up for a Heisman and stuff. Yeah. They looked awful last night. I mean, awful. And I don't think that Georgia is going to lay off on anybody. I think they're going to put to the brakes because you got Kirby Smart, who's SEC, who's a Nick Saban coach. He was under Nick Saban, and he's going to have that mentality. They blocked a punt yesterday.
Yep.
I mean, they did everything in like great fashion, every aspect. You're talking about blocking a punt that led to a touchdown. You're talking about great defense. So great special teams, great defense. Ohio State could get tripped up. Maybe this loss scares them or anything, but I mean, I think playing Miami is going to be closer than they think because, again, Ohio State's off for a week. You don't know who to prepare for. Texas Tech probably knows who to prepare for. Yeah. Oregon. So that's going to be a tough game.
Kind of.
IU kind of doesn't know who to prepare for. That's going to be a tough game. I think IU should get – it's hard. You also need re-rankings. Mm-hmm. Because if you have JMU winning, should they really play Texas Tech or should they be playing Indiana? The best team should get the easiest schedule. Yeah. You might get that eventually. You might get the re-rankings, and that's why another thing they need to change is reseeding after the first. That's what they do. They don't really seed anything until because you remember that they can play this team or this team in the NFL, right? Because you wait until the first round's done, and then you go, okay, now you're playing this, right. And then the seeding's done. When you get to the Final Four, it's kind of hard to reseed, right? You had the chance to have you're playing number 5. Number 1's playing number 5, but yet here you have 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 playing each other. Here, let me pull it up so people can hear you. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
You have 2 or 3 playing each other here, and you have 1 and 5. So clearly this one right here could be 1 and 4.
Yep.
Or 2 and 3, right? So you're looking at it at this perspective. How is number 1 going to play the lowest ranking seed available? And that would be this way, right? But at the same time, should Georgia get Tulane or Texas Tech get JMU? Shouldn't Indiana get JMU or Tulane? Because if they won, they're the best team. They should get the easiest schedule. That's one thing they got to figure out is final rankings or how to reseed. But yeah, this team's going to be hard to prepare for. And this game's going to be hard to prepare for. You already know Texas Tech is thinking of Oregon. Georgia's thinking of Ole Miss. And Ole Miss is thinking of Georgia. And Oregon's thinking of Texas Tech. Yeah. Hey, let's play JMU like we're playing Texas Tech. Yep. Except on our offense, we just – what's the word? Make adjustments if we need to. But let's play tough like they're going to come out playing like Texas Tech. Yep. Obviously, you look at their playbook – but you don't go, we play to their competition. We play like the competition is going to be Texas Tech, meaning we try to get the touchdowns because if we don't, they're going to score. Yep. Even though it's James Madison and Tulane, you never know. Yeah. We do know, but we never know.
Yeah, but my concern is when they beat the brakes off of both those teams, how does that change their selection process?
That's why I think when JMU and Tulane get destroyed, you're going to get a completely – again, this is the third year it's going to happen next year. Mm-hmm. You're going to get a completely different ranking system because, okay, one, if JMU happened to beat Oregon, IU – but imagine if this was – okay, so we took JMU out and we had Texas like we said, right? Mm-hmm. You took Tulane out and you put Notre Dame there. Keep everything else the same because BYU, right? It was so you put Tulane at Notre Dame, JMU is BYU because the first out teams, let's put it that way. Let's use the first out rankings and not put Texas. So if you did that, Tulane would be Notre Dame, Ole Miss, right? And then you got BYU up here. Well, BYU would be 12. Shouldn't BYU still go to IU versus Alabama OU?
I think
you're going to get that next year. I think you're going to get 4 conference champions unless they're not ranked in the top 15. Right. That way it would get rid of Tulane and JMU because if you really want the 12 best teams, these teams should not get in because this is almost a bye for these 2 teams. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, doing it that way, you can catch them off guard looking forward to the next week. But teams like Oregon and Ole Miss don't lose these games.
When you talk about college football teams, JMU is never Tulane, never, not since like the 30s. Are they in the conversation ever? Right. So the fact that they're even here to me is disrespectful to teams like Texas and
understand you this participation trophy mentality.
Teams like that, yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time, it should be more participation for BYU or Notre Dame or Texas. It shouldn't be for a conference champion. Well, we deserve respect.
I got a bowl.
No. And this is how and I discussed this with you yesterday.
Mhm.
This is how you get a group of 5 in.
Yeah.
This is how you get a group of 5 in going forward. JMU, Tulane, you're in the playoffs. Guess what? Next year, you don't play any FBS teams unless they are Alabama, Oklahoma, Oregon, Texas Tech. Any of these teams, whether they won a conference champion or not, Texas, Notre Dame, you schedule those in your non-conference games, and you win or get close. Then, if you're the conference champion, you deserve to get in because you were close.
Yep.
When I say close, I don't mean 14. I mean 10. 10 or less.
Yeah.
If you lose by 10 or less, you get in. If you lose,
The game has to be in question about whether or not you're going to win or not.
now, if you lose by 10 or less, but you were down by like 14 the whole damn game or 20 the whole game, and you just won in the fourth quarter because of 2 crazy plays because they put in their backups, but at halftime it was 28-0.
Yeah.
Then you don't deserve to get in. I don't care what the second half is. That first half you got destroyed, and in the college playoffs you're going to get destroyed just as much.
Yep.
That's the only way you get a Power 5 or a non-power conference champion in is if JMU, Tulane, all these people, Navy played Notre Dame and got smoked.
Mhm.
They're in the conversations of going to the American Conference Championship if North Texas or Tulane lost. Just think of that. They could be the champion. They could have been in. They would have get smoked by Ole Miss. They got smoked by Notre Dame, who didn't even make the playoffs. So you schedule them to play 1 or 2 if you want, but 1 Power 5 out of conference game. Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, hell, even Michigan.
Yeah.
You had them play a big name, not Wisconsin, who had an off year, who probably will have an off year next year, not Kentucky.
Am I making it off
Put,
here?
put Vandy. Well, maybe they had an off year this year, last year, whatever, off decade. So it'll turn into a decade. But put it against Vandy, who wasn't even in. Texas, who wasn't even in the first 2 out. BYU. I wouldn't even say BYU because they're like one of those 4 years, like every few years, it's like Ohio State.
Mhm.
But you put them in who someone's constantly good, Vandy lately, Texas, who's constantly good, who didn't even make the playoffs, and they get close, then you consider them in for a group of 5. You don't put 2. If you want to put 2, again, you have the same scenario as this year, and JMU and Tulane would have beaten or got close to beating someone like Alabama, Oklahoma, or something like that. Then, again, if Alabama schedules JMU, because you can do it a year out, they've done it before, you put Alabama in one of their non-conference games against JMU, now you can say, hey, we beat the brakes off of a playoff team last year.
Yeah.
Our conference record's great. We beat Tulane. Like, if you do that, that's how you get the Power 4 in or group of 4 in. If you don't get them in. ACC, you don't have a champion, boom, you still have a person in because you're a Power 5 and they're ranked within the top 15. If they're ranked within the top 15, you can excuse a 12 team to get your ACC Power 5 in.
Yeah.
But again, how often do you call them a Power 5 if the conference champion is not ranked and you're putting someone else in the conference who lost? Or if they're constantly not in the top 15.
Right.
But if you want to put an ACC, Big Ten, an automatic bid, that's how you do it. You don't do it by conference. You do it by automatic bids, by conference, not conference champion.
Mhm.
So something like this would be, okay, we don't put the conference champion. We put Miami in because they are the best ranked ACC. They were in the top 10 anyway.
Yeah.
And then other than that, you don't put the Power 5 in. That's how you get the 12 best teams in.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to watch James Madison, Oregon, unless I really have nothing else to do. I'm not going to watch Tulane, Ole Miss.
Mhm.
Now, if I look at my phone, halftime it's very close, I might change it. Fourth quarter it's close, I'll change it for sure.
Mhm.
But until then, their ratings are going to be awful. I'd rather watch the play-in tournament of the NBA or this midseason tournament, whatever the hell is going on.
NBA Cup, whatever.
I'd rather go watch random Sioux City Musketeers game than watch this. I'd rather go see Wicked or go see a movie than watching these 2 games because those games are not going to be competitive.
Yep. All I'm going to say is there's 2 teams from Texas in there.
That's good. There could have been 3.
Should have been, in my opinion. But
If you would have got 3, you would have had Texas and Oregon, and I think that would have been a great game. And then you got to realize Texas. I'm cheering for Texas, so then you get Texas versus Texas Tech.
yeah, that would be fun.
I mean, you could get Texas Tech and a Texas A&M.
Feel
If
good.
you have a Texas Tech and a Texas A&M national championship, how great is that for the state of Texas?
Amazing.
Everyone's going to want to go. Great weather. We could go to the national championship.
My concern there is how did Texas Tech or Texas A&M get a national championship before Texas? And Texas is a much better team than both of them, in my opinion. Yeah, fair.
All Texas's NIL money is tied up with Arch Manning, who
that's true.
He's not the greatest,
Yeah.
but he's done better. But he is overrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, that's his first year starting.
Yeah,
and I'm glad it happened this way because technically he could go to the draft.
Yeah,
because I think he's a junior. I think he's been there for 3 years. He was 2 years behind.
For last year.
So he could 2 years. He sat behind the same guy.
Yeah.
I think you could have him go to the pros if he had a great season.
Yeah, but
now that he didn't have a great season, he could come back, and I think Texas takes the SEC next year because I think he's grown that much at the end of the year. Look how they played. Look how they played A&M.
Yeah, true.
I mean, he got better. That team's gonna get better.
Yeah.
If they don't, Sark's fired.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If they're in the same predicament as next year, Sark's fired because they're gonna look at him and go, "You can't win nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You got us to a decent level again, but you can't win."
You can't put us over.
It's like James Franklin, but they're not going to give him 13 years to win.
Yeah.
He will get fired if they don't win the SEC or get close, at least to the championship game.
Right.
With Arch Manning playing better.
Yeah.
And you know what you need. You know what you need to go get off the transfer portal. You know what you need to do. And I owe money. I understand this, and this. But you know what you need out of the transfer portal. You're going to have great offensive linemen and stuff like that go to the transfer portal that didn't make the playoffs that, hey, maybe if I go to SEC team or this or that, whatever. There was a transfer last thing, I think, in the Georgia game. No, Indiana game.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did an interception in the end zone or he did nice defense in the end zone. Mm-hmm. He transferred from Navy.
Really?
Yes. So you played well. You made a great game to stop a touchdown in the Big Ten championship game against Ohio State, and you transferred from Navy.
Right.
So again, he played well
for Navy.
I think he still has to do his commitment because I think he signed a contract. But you can still play somewhere else.
Or you get kicked out.
Oh, you get kicked out, it's still making millions. Who cares? But if you transfer from a academy, I still think that's something you got to look at. I think because you signed a contract to go to the academy. Yeah. Because in their off season summer of school, they have to go to the bases and do stuff. Mm-hmm. So I still think he has to be in the military afterwards. But the fact is he transferred and he played a good game. So you have these smaller schools where they just want a chance to win a national championship or just have a contention, whether they're making a name for themselves for the NFL or not. They're just putting themselves in that talk.
Yeah. That
could go to Texas. Yeah. That could be better. They had a great defense. They had a good quarterback at the end of the season, played better. If he can go up, I think next year you see Texas in here.
Yeah.
I think next year you see, I don't know about Texas Tech again, one of those 4-year schools. A&M is going to be up there probably next year. It's going to be interesting. Yep. It's really going to be interesting next season. And the fact that you have so many, this is the second year, you see difference of the 12 teams already and different criteria. So we'll see what they do for next season. Are they going to change anything? It depends on these outcomes. If these two teams get blown out, I guarantee you they're going to say we need to get rid of the group of 5 unless they honestly are top 15. Right. And the only way you get to top 15 is you try to schedule Alabama, Oklahoma, this. Yep. Now the reason they don't want to do it, what if we lose? That's going to hurt us. Yeah. Okay, cool. You know what, Alabama? You lost to Florida State. That didn't hurt you. If you lose to JMU.
Honestly, the only way.
Alabama lost to JMU. Yeah. We're not even talking if Alabama belongs or not because JMU's in. Right. But they lost to Florida State. So we're like, that's a horrible loss. So again, what you lose to JMU? You lost big by Florida State. Yeah. And Florida State won like 3 games.
And like we discussed yesterday, the only way to solve this issue with people playing powder puffs and not having good schedules is allow the NCAA to schedule your games.
And you do like the NFL, right? So if you finish first in the SEC and second in the SEC, you play this first and second in the Big Ten. So you're playing Ohio State, Indiana, if you're Alabama or Georgia, because they were in the championship.
Playing in the first 3 weeks.
And you flip-flop. Yeah. So there's your 2 out of 3 out of conference games. Mm-hmm. How about you play, if you go back to divisions.
Yep. So divisions would be amazing.
If you go back to divisions, you split it up back into divisions. Mm-hmm. You got the top of one division, the SEC playing the top of the other division in the conference championship game. Well, if you go down to every conference has 5 teams, you got 4 division games Let's go 2 non-division games, right? In the same conference. There's still conference games. That's 6 games. You got 12 games on the schedule or 11. That's 5 out of conference games. You have more than enough to schedule 2 to 3. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, this, 1, 2, 3, this, 1, 2, 3, this of the Big Ten East, Big Ten West, 1, 2, 3, this of the SEC. You got more than enough to where you can do 2 Power Puff teams, maybe at the very beginning of the year. But when I say Powder Puff, I don't mean Power Puff. I don't mean FCS. You're in the playoffs. You don't play an FCS school. You're going to play maybe a Kennesaw State that's an FBS team. You're going to play FBS teams, but maybe a MAC team, NIU, Miami, Ohio. That's your warm-up game. You get one of those. And then your other 4 out-of-conference games has to be credible opponents from one of the, let's say, Pac-12, Boise State, still a credible opponent. You're talking Big 12, BYU, still a credible opponent. Colorado, still more of a credible opponent.
Right.
It could be the bottom of those conference, but you play one of those. And then you play 2 to 3 of someone who finished decently. Like, okay, you can play Wisconsin. They played horrible, but that's your credible opponent.
Right.
And then you play, like, if you're Georgia and Alabama, you're playing Ohio State and you're playing Indiana. And guess what? There's your 2. And then you got one more that you can do ACC, okay, or Notre Dame. Schedule those. Now you're playing credible opponents throughout the season. You build your resume up. And you know what? Now when the committee does this, it's a little bit harder, but no one can go, well, no, they played Georgia State or Georgia Southern, or they played North Dakota State, or which, by the way, North Dakota State, number 1 FSC, lost their first game to Illinois State. They're out of the playoffs in the that's crazy. One of the top best programs in FSC. Oh, they're shooting with FBS. They lost. It happens, though. But that happens in FSC. Because they also play credible opponents in the FSC, or they play top teams, right? You play like Vanderbilt plays Utah. USC versus Texas. You get bigger games throughout the year, you should get rewarded. You start scheduling these cupcake teams, like in between your rivals. There should be no more. It should be conference. Once it starts conference play, you should never play an out-of-conference game, ever. To get ready for our rivals like Georgia does or Alabama does when they play Auburn, right before they play someone like Georgia Southern and win by 55.
Auburn's like a major in-state rival for them. So,
but they shouldn't have a cupcake in between.
No,
you have a bye.
No,
but you shouldn't have a cupcake in between. That's what they do. That's what the SEC does. I think. I don't know if all teams do, but Alabama's known for having that one game in between.
Saban was notorious for that. And that fact that they got into the national championship conversation. So
Alabama played Eastern Illinois before they played Auburn, won 56-0. Eastern Illinois is an FCS school. You shouldn't play an FCS school, period.
And still be in the talk for the playoffs.
Let alone should and they played a 3-9 FCS school at the time. Like they played Florida State, UNL Monroe. So they played 2 FCS schools. UNL Monroe was 1-1 at the time. Let's see what they are now. UNL Monroe ended up being 3-9. They won 73-0. Right? Okay, that's cool if you want to play them in the beginning, but you should never play them in between.
I don't think you should play them at all.
In between. Let's see who Auburn played in between. By the way, they only beat Auburn by 7.
Right. If you want to be in the national championship conversation, you should not be playing teams like.
And then Auburn beat Mercer. Who, by the way,
Mercer had a football team.
Yeah, they're actually, I think, in the 3rd round of the FCS playoffs. So they're more credible than Eastern Illinois was, and they won 62-17. Mercer was 9-2 with Auburn. That was their second loss of the season, and it was an FBS school. They got destroyed. They just lost. My bad. They lost the second round. They had a bye in the FCS. They lost the next round to South Dakota 47-0. But because they had a bye.
Yep, shows you the bye week is not good.
Not even FCS. But again, they played Mercer. Like they had a better game than a team but they played an FCS school. How do you play an FCS? Big Ten, once they start conference championship play or conference play, they play conference. They don't play cupcakes in between unless it's in their conference.
Right.
Like Wisconsin was a cupcake this year. Northwestern, all them. Indiana used to be a cupcake. That's just the Big Ten. Like, sorry, that's who they have. They don't go out and play non-conference games in between their biggest rivals.
Yeah.
Did Georgia? I don't know if Georgia and Florida did that, but you're talking about teams. You shouldn't do that. If you do that, you should automatically be out of it. Georgia played. Let's see what they played before their Georgia Tech. They played Charlotte before Georgia Tech.
Okay.
Charlotte, I think they're a FBS team, but they're at the bottom. I think they're in the American or Conference USA.
Right.
They're 1-10. 1-10. They won one game. Like that might as well be an FCS. North Dakota State could probably beat them.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about Georgia. What else? Who else is A&M, right?
Yep.
Let's look at A&M real quick. Because I'm pretty sure A&M played easy schedule. No, I don't think they did. I don't think Texas did. It's usually the big powerhouses. Alabama, LSU, Tennessee. So it's the what you call it, the blue bloods of the SEC.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, week 13. They didn't even play.
Really?
Before they played Texas,
Yeah.
they didn't play. They had a bye. That's fine. They had a bye.
Yeah.
And before their bye, they played. The week before they played Stanford.
Another powerhouse of the MAC conference.
MAC, they're not even in the MAC.
No.
They were 1-11. No, they played people. They lost the Citadel. They're FCS team, but they were 1-11 in SCS, right? Or FCS. But then you have Texas. Let's see who Texas played. Again, this is SEC. This isn't the school usually.
Mhm.
Let's see. They played Arkansas before A&M. Yes, they destroyed Arkansas. But it's an SEC team.
Mhm.
Their last non-SEC team was Sam Houston. So it was Ohio State, San Jose State, UTEP, Sam Houston. They had 4 non-conference games, and they played Ohio State, and that was it.
Yep.
And then 3 FCS, FBS teams. I think they're all FBS, actually. San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston.
Yeah.
And then they played SEC teams. But when they played SEC teams, they played SEC teams. Oklahoma, I think, played SEC teams because they're used to it.
Mhm.
A&M has been in there long enough to where I think that they got stuck with what you call an easy the SEC schedule, whether you play the FCS.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oklahoma, before they played their last game. Yeah. I'm looking at everything. They played Texas, of course, their biggest rivals.
Yeah.
But they played, here's their conference. They played Illinois State. They played Michigan. They played Temple, and then they went to Auburn, but then Kent State.
Mhm.
So outside of Auburn, they played they did play Kent State before Texas. But after that, they played SEC. So you're talking about teams. I'm looking at Tennessee real quick, too. Tennessee played New Mexico State before they played Florida. Still an FBS team, but still a cupcake. Get rid of those. At the end of the game, they should be doing it beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Once you start conference play, you
Done.
play conference play.
Yeah.
If you get stuck playing Alabama, or if you're Alabama, you get stuck playing Tennessee, or I think that Tennessee's a set match. Let's just say Texas.
Mhm.
You can play Texas, and then you have to play Auburn. Sucks to suck.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Get up 2 weeks in a
I
row.
mean, that's Ohio State. Let's look at Ohio
Still,
State.
you're battle tested if you're playing cupcakes in the middle of your season.
Here's the big point. Ohio State plays before they play Michigan. The last game of the season, they played Rutgers.
Right.
It's not Rutgers every year.
Yeah.
Again, Michigan's playing somebody. Again, it's not so much that they played Rutgers. That's a horrible team. Okay, cool. Before the end of the year, Michigan played Maryland.
Yeah.
They play a decent team in their own conference before they play. What happens if Michigan had to play Indiana and then Ohio State? Or Ohio State had to play Oregon and then Michigan? Like that's just how the conference fell. Because I think the conference schedules these games and they go, hey, this is how your conference schedule is going to go. We're not giving you a cupcake Big Ten team before. This is just who you're playing, and this is when it best lines up.
Right.
Maybe we try to give you your easiest schedule for Big Ten before you play Michigan.
Yep.
Same with Michigan, but their easiest team could be Ohio or Wisconsin or Iowa. Okay, well then you got to play them before Michigan. What happens if you get upset?
Mhm.
You shouldn't be playing FCS teams at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think that you're not going to see much difference. Sorry, I'm trying to get this up. Done now. I can hear it. You're not going to get much difference in what they're doing now unless these teams get blown out.
Yeah.
And you're not going to see a big change in how SEC does things unless they start getting penalized. Sky watched on Facebook or whatever, Pat Cutler, he pretends to be the bad Napoleon because he kind of looks like him and acts like him. He said, if Indiana loses, because they only skip the high school teams and FCS teams. Yeah. First of all, so does the freaking SEC.
Yeah, they all do that stuff.
He's not an SEC homer. He's from Pittsburgh. But he goes, I'll stop making videos if Indiana wins because they're frauds. They won. Stop making videos. He's choking on his words now. He's like, okay, they won, but I'm going to win the war, but they won the game. Whatever.
Well, you've already said that Indiana may not make the final.
Right, but that's because I think Oregon's just going to be better off right before them.
Yeah.
And they've already went through 2 games versus Indiana's 1.
Yeah.
I think Indiana has a really great chance, and if you don't think so, then you haven't been watching yesterday. Mm-hmm. I think Indiana could still win the national championship. Yeah. I think they should. I hope they do.
Or at least in the discussion.
I'm not saying this because I think they're going to completely lose. I just think Oregon lost that first game in Eugene. They're going to want revenge. Yeah. That's all I think.
Well, one thing I believe is that the fact that they're a number 1 seed makes me believe that they're legit.
They are legit. I never say they're legit. You beat the best team who has not lost a game since they lost to Michigan last year. Yeah. You're talking about a team who has dominated people. Mm-hmm. One of the best. You have an NFL defensive coordinator. And not just a random one. Matt Patricia from the Patriots, one of the best defenses of at least since 2000 with the Patriots, who went to a head coach, sucked as a head coach, went back to – and he's led NFL defenses to championships. Yeah. And you went out there and you put up 13 points. Mm-hmm. Granted, not impressive for an offense who's scoring. Ohio State scored. Yeah. A lot. And they only put up 10 points. Mm-hmm. That kicker completely missed a 27-yard field goal. Again, people on college game days go and make $100,000 kicks with burkas, like Uggs on and stuff. Like, they've never kicked a football. Again, pressure went to him. Yeah. But again, pressure was on singing horrible passes sometimes. I mean, their defense flew to the ball. So when Jeremiah Smith got it, like kind of like a screen, had nowhere to go and got tackled for losses sometimes. Yeah. Those are top wide receivers. You're talking about Jeremiah Smith. I can't remember who number 17 was, but they're talking about top wide receivers in the draft. And they were flying to the ball. And, yeah, the first guy maybe not made the initial tackle, but he slowed him down to where a third guy came in. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're talking about they all flew to the ball and flocked to it. Yeah. This is a complete team, both of them. And I really do think you might see Indiana versus Ohio State, but one of them are going to get tripped up. I think they both do. I think Georgia played so good that they're going to trip up Ohio State. I would love to see, and I said it earlier before we even came on air, Indiana, Georgia would be a great, great championship. Yep. And I possibly believe you can see that. But I just think Oregon wants the revenge more, and they're going to prepare more throughout the conference. Indiana can't look past Alabama or Oklahoma. Oregon can't really look past Texas Tech. But, Oregon's still thinking of Indiana because that's what they have to get through. Mm-hmm. While not tripping up between JMU and Texas Tech. But they can still prepare one game a week. When they're allowed to practice, one day a week, they can prepare for Indiana that day. And then when they go the next week, still look at one day, maybe JMU, they practice for Indiana. And then one day JMU because they know they're going to beat them. Right. And the next week, okay, we're going to do one day Indiana. And then what happens? If it's Oklahoma, cool, they overlooked Oklahoma. But in their mind, they want to prepare because they got beat at home. They're only lost to Indiana. Yeah. And they're like, what a better statement than coming in and beating Indiana. Right. And they're not going to do it with defense. They're going to do it with high-powered offense because Indiana's not going to be able to sling the ball and keep up with them. Right. Because if they do a track meet. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I like Oregon, Georgia, but I also like Indiana, Georgia. I think Georgia's just too much of a powerhouse right now the way they ended the season. And I think Ohio State is going to really beat the battle test against Miami because Miami has that extra week while Ohio State's on rest another week. I mean, you're talking about what? I think the first game's like 2 weeks. So you're talking about extra rest for Ohio State and Miami already having a game. And a tough game at that if they beat Texas A&M. And if Texas A&M wins, I mean, Ohio State still got a rough two games.
Yeah.
Texas A&M's only loss was Texas. Ohio State beat Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So now the pressure's on for you to beat Texas A&M because
Yep.
Texas beat them. So
See what happens.
and again, Heisman Mendoza, Coach of the Year, Kurt.
Yeah.
Signetti, how do you not give Indiana undefeated the Coach of the Year?
Yeah.
His second year.
Yeah.
You're talking about a basketball school, now a football school.
Mhm.
It's not. It's both. I think
Yeah.
they're doing decent in basketball, but everyone's talking about them for football now.
Yep. And we're gonna
would have thought
keep track of this throughout the season, guys, or throughout the
playoffs.
playoffs, so that you guys can see that, and we'll see how we go.
I will drop a video, probably just like a selfie video that I do or whatever, like a promo video of maybe some notable college bowl games. It looks like Navy could have a decent one. I think they should.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, see where Notre Dame ends up for a bowl game, see who they play.
When's the bowl selection?
I think they're doing all that now.
Oh, are they? Well,
let's
we can
see.
talk about it next week and kind of come up with our bowl selection.
I think some bowl games have came out.
But they're not going to start having bowl games till Christmas Eve, right?
Like right now, SC State versus Prairie View. That's the Celebration Bowl. That's the two best HBCUs, black colleges.
Okay. When's that game?
That's the 13th, this Saturday.
The Army Navy game is going to blow that one
So,
out.
the buckled up LA Bulls this Saturday. Why they had two bowl games on? They usually start the Tuesday or so after the Army Navy game.
Yeah.
The Veterans Bowl is the 16th. Nothing announced.
Mhm.
You got the DNA Cheer Bowl, Old Dominion versus South Florida, both 9-3.
ODU.
Louisiana 6-6 versus 6-6 Delaware. Congratulations, Delaware! First team in the FBS, first year in the FBS, I believe, and you made a bowl game. I think they got rid of the band because of JMU doing so damn good for 2-3 years. They're like, we just get rid of it.
Yeah.
I think they belong in a bowl.
Yeah.
Maybe not the playoff, but a bowl.
Mhm.
And then, Delaware's not. I say with Missouri State. 7-5, they're not lighting it up, but they deserve a bowl. I think you always deserve a bowl game because if you're playing like maybe not a big bowl game, give them a smaller one where they're playing smaller schools and actually have a chance to win.
Yeah.
Missouri State, Arkansas State's playing the Xbox Bowl, and then you got the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hawaii, California is playing off in the Hawaii Bowl.
Christmas Eve.
That is Christmas Eve. Hey, California's not that far from Hawaii compared to the other teams that could be in it. And I think that's all we got right now. Let me just make sure. Yeah, Notre Dame and Miami hasn't got one, but they're probably going to get
Didn't get a bowl yet?
not yet, but I'm trying to figure out what else.
What bowl do you give them? Because
Citrus Bowl, Sun Bowl, those are all New Year's Eve bowls.
Mhm.
Las Vegas Bowl. Because now that the Rose Bowl, the Alamo Bowl is the 30th. Now that the Rose Bowl and all that stuff doesn't go, like when they did 4, like every other year, you get the Rose Bowl, you get this, you get this.
Yeah.
And now that you don't get those prestigious bowls.
yeah, because they're all part of the championship.
So your Citrus Bowl, your Sun Bowl, your ReliaQuest Bowl, your Las Vegas Bowl, those are the New Year's bowls. And then New Year's Day is all playoffs. And then the second, you got the Armed Forces Bowl, Liberty Bowl, Mayo Bowl, Holiday Bowl. I don't think those are considered top bowl games.
Yeah, we'll start coming up next week. We'll come up with probably bowls up until Christmas Eve that are announced, and we'll talk to you about our feelings on those.
Before we go, I do want to say one thing.
Uh-oh.
Go Navy, beat Army. It's Army Navy week. Who cares about anything else right now? I don't care about the other damn bowl games. I don't care about the HBCU bowl game. No disrespect. I just don't care because it's Army Navy.
Army Navy.
And I sit next to, because I changed, a person whose daughter, or I think daughter, someone they know is in the Army. And she's like, go Army, beat Navy. I said, no. Sorry.
That's not so fast.
That's midget. All right. She's shorter than me too. But go Navy, beat Army.
Yep.
And I feel the same.
Absolutely.
We're getting shirts made. We'll be wearing them. Probably next week on the podcast, I'll wear them. Whether the game will be over, but I'll still wear it.
Yep.
And guess what? 365 days until next time. Go Navy, beat Army still.
And Navy's going to win that game anyway, so.
They're going to blow them out, I hope.
Absolutely.
I like it close. I do like those games close because, again, blowout games, you lose the competitive.
Yeah.
But that's the only game I do cheer for a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Like Packers, Bears, I want to blow out, but if it's close, it's close.
Yeah.
This one, I want to blow out. I don't even want Army to go, well, if we missed. No. You lost by 30. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares about calls that didn't happen?
Right.
So other than that, you guys have a wonderful weekend. If you're in Iowa, stay warm. If you're in the Midwest, stay home and safe.
Northeast, yeah, it's going to be.
If you're in the South, you know what? We don't like you right now. It's nice and warm down there, but it's cold.
Florida's going to be in towards the 20 this weekend.
Oh, well, sucks to suck for them.
Well,
That means we're going to be cold as crap.
It's going to be like negative 20.
If they're 20 there, we're negative 50. Got it. Real feel.
Yeah.
So have a good week, guys, and stay safe out there.
Oh, it's so many things.